Now, next is which of the following options shows the equivalent fraction of the sum of 1 by 5 and 3 by 10. Okay, so first of all, we have to do the sum for these two. So 1 by 5 plus 3 by 10. So now since both of these are unlike fractions, so what we have to do is we have to find out the sum. So how do you find the sum? Okay, when we find how do we find out the sum? To find out the sum, there's a trick, that is whenever there are two numbers which have common factors, okay, so in such cases the LCM will always be the greatest number. So 5 and 10 are two numbers which will have common factors, right? So factors for 5 are 1 and 5, and factors for 10 will be 1, 2, 5 and 10. So right, so 1 and 5 are the common factors. Now since these two have the common factors, so in such cases the LCM will always be the greatest number. Okay, so now the LCM here is 10. Now this will be okay. Now to make 10 out of 5, we have to multiply this with 2, so we will also multiply this with 2. So this will become 2 plus 3. So now this is 5 upon 10, that is 1 by 2. Okay, now next thing that we have to check in this question is which of the following option shows the equivalent fraction. Equivalent fraction for what? Equivalent fraction for this 1 by 2. So now if we start converting these fractions into their simplest forms, this will become, this will become 4 by 7, this will become 1 by 2, this will become 3 by 4, and this will remain as it is. So the fraction showing the equivalent fraction is option B, that is 15 by 30. Okay, why? Because the simplest fraction for this is 1 by 2 and our answer also was 1 by 2. So they are equivalent fractions. Now, next is directions for next two questions. The given bar graph shows the number of decorative items sold by 5 girls during the Diwali Mela in a school. Study the given graph carefully and answer the following questions. Okay, so now first of all, let us read the graph and write down the data that is provided to us. So for Tanya, it was 60. For Rashi, it was 90. For Divya, it was 80. For Kanak, it was 70, and for Priya, it was 40. Now, for Rashi and Kanak, we have taken the value in between because the bar is between the two values, that is the lowercase value and the uppercase value, right? So, the value is between 80 and 100, so we are taking it as 90. Now, the question 14 says, find the difference between the number of items sold by Tanya and Kanak together and the number of items sold by Priya. So in this question, we have to find the difference, but find the difference of what? So first of all, we have to do the sum of items sold by Tanya and Kanak, right? So for Tanya, it was this 60 and for Kanak, it was 70, right? So first of all, we have to do the sum of these two. Then we have to subtract the items sold by Priya out of it. So for Priya, it was 40, right? So we will subtract 40 out of this. Now, 60 plus 70 will be 130 and we have to subtract 40 out of it. So this will become 90. Okay, so the answer for this question is option C, that is 90. Now, next question is, if each decorative item cost is, this should be rupees symbol, so rupees 125, then find the amount of money earned by Rashi, right? So what was the, what was the number for Rashi? Rashi, it was 90, right? It is 90 as we can clearly see. So, one item cost is rupees 125. So now when we have to find the cost for 90 items, what we will do? We will multiply 90 with 125 rupees, right? So the value for this will be 11,250 rupees. Okay, so the right answer to this question will be option A. Okay, now next question is, Sahil has a field of rectangle shape. The length of the field is twice its breadth. The breadth is 80 meter. Find the perimeter of the field. Okay, so let us first draw the field of Sahil. So the figure will be like this. Okay, this is the field for Sahil and it is in the shape of rectangle. So now we know that the alternate two sides of the rectangle are equal. Now it is given that the length of the field is twice its breadth. Okay, so this is the breadth and this is the length. So it is given that the length is twice its breadth. So suppose if the breadth will be 1, what will be the length? The length will be 2. If the breadth will be 2, the length will be 4. Okay, now it is given that the breadth is 80 meters. So this is, if this is given to us as 80 meter, what will be the length now? The length will be 160 meter, that is 80 into 2, right? Now we have to find the perimeter of the field. Okay, now what is the formula for the perimeter of the field? It is 2 into length plus breadth, right? This is the formula. So now let us place the values here, and we will, after substituting the value, we will get the answer. So 2 into L, that is 160, plus 80, that is breadth, we will get the answer. So 2 into, this will become 0 plus 0, 0. Now 8 plus 6 is what? 8 plus 6 is 14, right? So 4, and then 1 will be carried here. So this will become 2. So now the final perimeter for this will be 480. Okay, so right answer to the question is option B. So now the next question is question number 17, that says, how many of the following letters have parallel lines? So in this question, we are provided with a word, and we need to check that which all alphabets contain parallel lines. Okay, so let's see T first. So, okay, basically these questions, such type of questions usually depend on the font of how the letter is written. Okay, so now based on that, the first letter is T, right? So now if you can clearly see it here, that these vertical lines here are parallel to each other, right? So we will consider this as 1. Now next is A. So now talking about A, we know that these two lines are parallel, right? We can clearly see. And why is that? It is because of the font of how A is written, right? So let's consider this as well. Now next is R, right? So now talking about R, we can clearly see that these vertical lines are parallel to each other, right? So again, we will also consider this. Now next is G. Okay, so talking about G, we can clearly, like, let's not consider this. Okay, that curve part we will avoid. Now talking about these lines, we can clearly see that they are parallel to each other, right? So we will consider this also. So up till now, we have 4 letters that have parallel lines. Now we need to check one more letter. So now in this E, we can clearly see that the lines are clearly parallel. How? See, this is parallel to this line. Also, this line is also parallel to this line, right? So we can see that there are parallel lines in two concepts, which is these inner and outer lines are parallel. Meanwhile, the outer line for this one and the outer line for this one are also parallel, right? So this is how also has parallel lines. So we will also consider this. And now T is again repeated. So we will count it again. So this will be total of 6. Okay, so all the 6 letters have parallel lines in them. So the right answer to the question will be option C. Okay, now next question is, how many more triangles should be shaded so that the given figure has 2/3 as a shaded fraction? Okay, so first of all, let us try to write the actual shaded fraction of the figure. So it will be like, for the denominator parts, we will count the total number of triangles, right? So the total number of triangles will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so this will be our denominator. Now, for the numerator part, we will count the actual number of shaded triangles. So it is 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Okay. Now, if we try to convert this into the simplest fraction, what will be the answer? The answer will be 1 by 3, right? So now we know that we have to make it to 2 by 3. Okay. Now, if you can clearly see that, like, how can you make a 3, how can you make a 12 out of 3? By multiplying 4, right? Isn't it? So similarly, the answer here will be 12. Now tell me, what should be multiplied what should be multiplied into 4, that the answer here becomes 2 by 3? It should be 8, right? Because 3 times 4, 4 times 3 is 12, and we need the answer to be 2 here, right? So we have to take 4 times 2, that will be 8. Okay, so now Yes. So previously it was already 4 squares were shaded. Now we have added 4 more squares, right? Therefore, that is how it became 8 by 12. So the answer to this question will be option A, 4. That is, we have to shade 4 more triangles to make it 8 out of 12. Now, next question is, what will you get if you round off the greatest 5-digit even number to the nearest hundreds? Okay. So, the greatest 5-digit even number, right? So let us write the number first. Greatest 5-digit even number. So what? Tell me first, what is the greatest 5-digit number? It will be 99,999, right? But we have to make it even, right? So for making it even, what will it become now? 99,998. Right. Now, what is the question? The question says that we have to round it off to the nearest hundreds, right? So now, whenever we have to round off a number to the nearest hundreds, we have to always check its tens position, right? So at tens place, this number has 9, right? Now, since it has 9 here, how we will round it off? We will round it off into the next number. That is, this will become 99,000 and this will become 1,000, right? Why? Because rest of these will become 0 and this 9 will become 10. So now we cannot write it like this. So we have to again add 1 to this one and so on, right? So finally, this number will become 10,000. Sorry, this number will become 1 lakh. Okay. So the right answer to this question will be option, that is option A. Okay. Now, next question is, study the given picture carefully and answer the following questions. Okay, so the question is, the length of a stapler and fork together is dash stapler longer than the length of chopstick. So to be able to solve this question, first of all, we have to write down the measurement of all of these three items, right? So first of all, in the sense, like in terms of staplers, the length of chopstick will be 7 units. Okay, that is, one chopstick is equal to 7 stapler. Okay, now next is for fork, the measurement will be 5. Okay, and finally for stapler, the measurement will be 4. Now the question is that the length of stapler and fork together. So stapler and fork together will make what? 5 plus 4, right? And now it says is longer than the length of chopsticks. So to find how longer is that, we have to find the difference, right? So we will subtract the length of chopstick out of this. So let's say -7. So now 5 plus 4 will be 9, -7 is 2, right? So the right answer to this will be option B. So B is the correct answer. Now, next question is, the given clocks show the time at which Suhani started and finished the lunch. How much time did she take to finish the lunch? Okay. So first of all, to solve this question, let us write the two different times that these two different clocks are showing us. So first of all, the starting time. Let's talk about starting time. So starting time, what is it? The hour hand is on 1 and the minute hand is on 2. So this means 2 into 5, 10, right? So this will be 110. And finishing time. Now talking about finishing time, where is the hour hand? The hour hand is placed between 1 and 2. So we will consider it to be 1. And the minute hand is on 9. So we will consider it to be 45, right? Because each number here shows 5 minutes. So 9 into 5 will be 45 minutes. Now, how much time did she take to finish the lunch? So to find the time duration that she took for eating her lunch, we have to find the difference, right? So 145 minus 110 will be 35 minutes, right? Will give us an answer that is 35 minutes. So the right answer to this will be option D. Now, next question is, during the kite festival, a shopkeeper bought 3,750 kites. So the total number of kites that he has is 3,750. Now, if there are 15 kites in a box, then how many boxes did the shopkeeper buy? So, okay, so this is the total number of kites, and the number of kites one box has kites is equal to 15, right? So now we have to find out the number of boxes, that how many boxes will be required, right? So for doing so, what we will do is we will subtract this 3,750 with 15. So now if we do so, uh, our answer will be 250. Okay, so the right answer to this will be 250. That is option C. Okay. Now, next question is, how many prime numbers are there between 10 and 35? Okay. So we have to count the total number of prime numbers that lay between 10 and 35. So let us write down the prime numbers first. So the first prime number will be 11. Next, it will be 13. Next, it will be 17. Then it will be 19. Okay. Now, next will be 23. Okay. Then next will be 29. Okay, and last one will be 31. So these are the prime numbers. Now why are they prime numbers? They are prime numbers because these are the numbers between 10 and 35 that do not have any other factors apart from 1 and the number itself. Okay, so now let us count the total. So this there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 prime numbers between 10 and 35. Okay, so the right answer to this will be option B. Now, next question is, Raghav goes to his office daily by his bike through different routes. The petrol used on different days of a week are given in the table. How much petrol was used on Wednesday if he used 2 liter of petrol in the given 6 days? Okay. So here we have a table which shows that Raghav, a boy who goes to his office daily by his bike, spends this much of petrol every day. Okay, now in this table, we do not know how much petrol was spent by him on Wednesday, and we have to find that. And the other thing given to us is that for the 6 days, a total of 2 liter of petrol was used by him. Now, first thing is that 1 liter of petrol can be written as 1000 ml, right? Isn't it? Now, if you can write 1 liter like this, so can we write 2 liter of petrol like 2000 ml? Yes, we can, right? So now to find the right answer for this, what we have to do is, first of all, we have to do the sum of all of the of the amount of petrol that is given to us for the rest of the 5 days, and then we have to take that amount and subtract it from 2000 ml. Okay, so now for the rest of, if we do the sum of the rest of the days, the total will be 1540 ml that he used. Okay, so now we have to subtract this from 2000 ml. So if we do the subtraction, the amount that we will get is, okay, 0 0 minus 0 is 0. Then we have to take a carry from here. So this, first of all, this will become 10. Then again we'll take a carry, so this remains 9, and this will become 10, right? So 10 minus 4 will be 6. Then 9 minus 5 will be 4, and nothing is spared here. So this is 460 ml. So the right answer to this question will be option A. Okay, now next question is, read the given statements carefully and select the correct option. Okay, the first one is, the greatest one digit prime number is 9. Okay, so is that statement true? Why? Because what is 9? 9 is the greatest one digit number, right? Greatest one digit number. But is 9 a prime number? Okay, as we discussed earlier, prime numbers are those numbers which can only be found in two tables. That is, they have only two factors, 1 and the number itself, right? But 9 can be found in 3 as well. Like in the table of 3, we can find 9, right? So therefore, 9 is not a prime number. It is a composite number. So this first statement is false. Now, talking about the second statement, it says LCM of two prime numbers is always their product. Okay, now is it true? Yes, this statement is true. Okay, now why is it true? Let's see. Okay, let's talk about two prime numbers. So we can take 5 and 7, right? These are the two prime numbers that I am taking. Now, if I talk about the LCM, so since these two are prime numbers, that means they will not have any common factor, right? So we know that there's a rule that whenever we have to find out the prime LCM for any two such numbers that do not have anything in common, we always find the LCM by doing their product, right? So similarly goes the same thing goes for this. So the LCM for these two will be 5 into 7, that is 35. Right? So this statement for us is true. So the right answer to this will be option B, only 2 is true.